Sabre's going to get quite the chewing out tonight, though.
Oh, and it will be quite the chewing out if you know what I mean, Hazel. Wink, wink. Wait, why am I telling you this? You're just a child. After a remarkably tasty meal, I start to stroll back to my bedchambers, and I'm already filled with regret. How could I have eaten so much? Bottoming is going to be impossible tonight. I might have an accident. Wait, why am I telling you this? You're just a child. Hi guys, I just want to take a second to thank all my patrons here who have donated to me. No matter how much they've donated to me, it really means a lot to me. And if you guys want, you can check out my Patreon and help support me continue to make yaoi videos. Thanks guys. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Chess of Blades. In the last episode, Sabre saved us from some kind of assailant that was from Ignatius, and apparently now we just learned that he's been in a fight of some sort, and our maiden heart is worried that he might be injured. Oh dear, please Sabre, be okay. I whirl around to try and see the owner of the voice, but the crowd's moving too fast for me to figure out who spoke. Damn it! An apparent, apprehensive feeling suddenly churns in my stomach, along with the remains of assorted pastries. I really shouldn't have pigged out earlier. It's probably not either of the men I'm thinking of, but still. I grit my teeth together and turn back, struggling against the stream of guests to make my way towards the arena. It takes a bit of effort, but eventually I end up at the edge of the pit where a decently sized crowd is still gathered. But it doesn't seem like Sabre or Kiran are currently fighting. I start to search around for them worriedly, craning my neck to try and catch a glimpse of either man over a sea of feathered hats. While I don't spot them in the crowd, I do notice a few people coming in and out of a small building nearby. They look like duelists and brawlers, so maybe that's the fighters' quarters. I hurry over to the cabin, ignoring the dubious looks thrown at me by some of the burly participants as I slip inside. Wait, I'm confused what we're even doing right now. Are we sneaking into the fighters' quarters to sneak a peek on Sabre? Oh, okay, sure. There's various fighting equipment and some bedrolls here and there, so my guess was probably correct. Glancing around intently, I start to explore further into the quarters when...
Rivian! Is that you?
A husky voice calls out my name, and I spin around to see Sabre sitting on a bedroll leaning against the wall.
Sabre! You're hurt!
Is he? Isn't he always a little bit hurt? He's always has those bloody hands. I rush over and kneel on the floor beside him, biting my lip in worry. It's just as I feared. A bandage is wrapped around Sabre's side where a red spot is seeped through to stain the fabric a dark crimson.
Oh, it's not that bad. I ain't dying. Just won't be sleeping on my left side for a while, that's all.
His voice is thick with his exaggerated persona once more. I don't even see any bandage on him. I guess there's a lot of other fighters around us. He probably doesn't want it getting out that he's not as bestial and unrefined as he likes to seem.
I shouldn't have bloody gotten it though. The blade I was using to fight Kieran. Someone put something on the handle. It started to itch and burn me palm after a few minutes.
Why are you talking in your accent again, Sabre? You don't have to lie to me. Sabre's voice abruptly lowers, taking on a dark note as he scowls down in the distance.
Oh, I tried to fight though, but he hit me at a time I should have easily dodged. Poor bastard was more surprised than I was.
From the dry amusement in his words, I can tell that he doesn't think Kiran was the one who sabotaged him. I don't either. It definitely doesn't seem like something he'd do, no matter how intense their rivalry became, and I base that on the 5 minutes I've known Kiran.
You don't think it could be that man from last night?
As soon as I mention the assassin, Sabre stiffens noticeably, his lips contorting into a grimace. Ooh, he's stiffening right in front of us. This is getting erotic. He turns away his head from me slightly, staring in another direction. Maybe I should have killed him. Maybe... maybe... I'm just saying. Probably...
I am message is what it is.
As he offers a bitter reply, his fingers curl tightly into fists. So that's all they did? They put something on your sword that made your hand burn a little or something? I don't really see what that's going to do to you long term. If only he'd tell me how he knew that assassin or why he's coming after both of us. There's a reason why he's being evasive, I'm sure of it. I mean, they could have put like some kind of poison on the handle of his blade, couldn't they? You know, that would kill him? I don't know.
If that's the case, you shouldn't stay out here after dark. If he has access to your equipment, he might try and do something to you during your sleep too.
You should come back to the castle with me and adjourn with me to my room. There's plenty of space.
Oh, you're offering to put me up in your room. A bit forward, but I've no complaints.
Wow, you really... you can really read between the lines.
It's just, you know, preferable to you getting skewered in the middle of the night, that's all.
Sabre snickers when I mumble a defensive reply. He reaches out to press a long finger under my chin, tilting it up slightly.
You're a lot more invested in other people's safety than you ought to be. Especially me own. I don't deserve it.
His voice is soft and gentle, but there's a guilty look in his eyes as he averts them momentarily from my own. That expression puzzles me. Is it because he was so aggressive during our first meeting, or is it related to whatever he's neglecting to tell me?
Well, if you insist, why don't I come to your room around the time of the masquerade, with all the peacocks stuffed into the ballroom? No one will see me stealing away tea.
I quickly nod, relieved that he agreed to my suggestion. I don't mind sleeping in one of the chairs for a night. It's a small price to pay for all things considered, and they're pretty nice chairs. Why am I sleeping in the chair? What happened here? What? I don't understand why it's me sleeping in the chair. Why wouldn't he be sleeping in it? Fine.
Is there anything I can get you for now to make you more comfortable? I can't believe the shoddy place they stuffed you into. Could they really not even spare some cots?
Nay, to be honest, it's far from the worst place I've been thrown into. At least they gave us pillows, eh?
He chuckles, rolling his eyes with a faint click of his tongue.
Oh, you could get me some water though if you're feeling kind. Me throat's a bit hoarse from yelling curses after me side got sliced.
Sabre motions to a small water skin lying a few feet away, and I reach out to grab it. When I offer it to him, however, he shakes his head and exhales a theatrical sigh through his teeth.
But my hands are sore too, you know. The best way for me to drink would be you giving it to me. Some mouth to mouth and all that.
What? That could not be. That literally, like, that's making me gag. like I can feel just like this, like in my throat. That's just making me feel very uncomfortable. That is literally no. Just please don't do that, Rivian. That is honestly disgusting. I immediately splash some of the water onto his head.
That was worth the look on your face.
Oh, Sabre. He breaks out into a ruckus, gleeful laughter, and I drop the water skin in his lap with a huff.
If you're quite finished, then I'll be taking my leave. You'd better be there tonight at a prompt hour, or I may think twice about letting you in.
It's very difficult for me to keep up a firm tone, and I realize I probably sound about as threatening as someone scolding a kitten. Sabre just snickers to himself and nods, watching me with a smug grin. Before my face grows too flushed, I flick him a rude gesture and take my leave, returning to the sunny warmth of the outside. The day is starting to wane, so I decide to go back to the castle. I think I'm just about shopped out, and I don't want to fill up on these delicacies and leave myself without room for dinner. The king owes me dinner after this ordeal, and I fully intend to make good use of it. Does he? Did we solve the mystery? I don't think so. I don't think he owes us much of anything. As I stroll through the hallway to my chamber, I spot someone standing in front of my door. Someone small with a black and white dress and distinctive pigtails.
Hello again, Hazel. I did mention that guarding my door wasn't necessary, right? Especially when I'm not inside.
Oh, Sir Vivian! I was hoping you'd be back soon. I was getting a bit lonely.
Why don't you go off and play with your mother? I'm sure she'd be more willing to put up with your bratty bullshit. She brightens up as soon as I approach, bouncing on her toes energetically. I don't think she realizes that I'm actually insulting her. Damn, she's not... she doesn't have a strong enough grasp of the English language to understand that I'm verbally chewing her out. Dumb bitch.
I wasn't guarding the door, though. I just wanted to talk to you about something.
More intrigue? When her voice suddenly grows grave, I frown in concern. Come to think of it, she did look a little sober yesterday. I mean, it was obviously understandable given her circumstances, but her mood shifted quite quickly. You know, Emily really... Does Emily even actually care about this little bitch? Because, like, like, just yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? Either way, this bitch just was discovered again after being missing, kidnapped. And she's already just going off on her own again. You think Emily would have this little bitch by her side at all times if she actually cared, but I don't know. I'm questioning how much you actually care, Emily.
Something serious, is it? Very well. Come in for a moment, then.
Like, I mean, if your child was just kidnapped, would you just let them go play by themselves the very next day? Like, I don't think so. I step into my room with Hazel following at my heels, peering around curiously as he tentatively wanders over the threshold. After I close the door behind us and turn to her expectantly, she takes a deep breath and fixes me with a determined look.
It's about the person who kidnapped me. I wanted to ask you to help them.
Oh, trust me, Hazel. I'm already helping them. He's sleeping with me in my room tonight.
Yeah, hang on a moment there, Hazel. Can we take a step back? Did you just say you wanted me to help your kidnapper?
When she vigorously nods, I stare at her, open mouth, completely at a loss.
They're not a bad person, really. I can't say a whole lot, but they told me about themselves. And I felt so sorry for them.
What? Was Sabre using Hazel as his personal therapist while she was kidnapped? Okay.
And now that they let me go, I think they might be in danger. But you know them, so you can protect them.
Did you just say, I know them? After I recover from the initial shock, I heave a sigh and pinch at the bridge of my nose with a thumb and forefinger.
Don't you think you're being a bit hasty here, Hazel? They probably let you go because they were afraid they get caught by the king's men. But why wouldn't you want them to get captured?
Hazel shakes her head, wrinkling her nose in frustration.
I wasn't talking about the king's men, Sir Vivian. I think they're in danger from someone else. Some bad people who know a lot of things.
From Hazel's awkward explanation, a part of my mind is starting to piece things together. And the picture that's forming is so strange that I can barely understand it, but it also makes a twisted sort of sense. This line right here means absolutely nothing. This means absolutely nothing. That is word diarrhea.
Hazel, the one who kidnapped you was Sabre, wasn't it?
She covers her mouth with one hand, eyes widening like saucers. Well, 1 point for me, I suppose. Although, how she expected me to protect him without knowing his name or identity is a little baffling. What's even more baffling is that she just totally gave it away with that little gas. Like, she was not prepared to even keep this secret. Like, Like, if anyone else even asked her, like, who it was, and they just started randomly listing names, I bet she would have just gasped when they got to Sabre. Like, you're not... I don't know how Sabre thought this little bitch could keep a secret.
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone, but... Oh, that foolish bastard. What is he doing, wrapping himself up with people like that?
I angrily mutter to myself more than Hazel, shooting a glare out the window. If I'm not mistaken, the reason why Sabre didn't say anything about Hazel or the disciples was because he was working for them. But if he had a change of heart and decided to release Hazel, then it's only natural they'd come after him. Does that mean then the assassin from yesterday was targeting us because of that?
Sir Rivian, please, don't tell anyone his name. I don't want you or him to get hurt, even though today's the last day.
I'll do my best, Hazel. Sabre's going to get quite the chewing out tonight, though.
Oh, and it will be quite the chewing out if you know what I mean, Hazel. Wink, wink. Wait, why am I telling you this? You're just a child. I resist the urge to roll up my sleeves and crack my knuckles, since that's probably not the best way to comfort Hazel. Really though, what on earth was Sabre thinking? Why would he ever do anything so stupid?
Thank you, sir. He's big and strong, but I don't know if he thinks about things enough. He needs someone like you for that.
For some reason, Hazel's heartfelt words bring a faint smile to my face. I guess she's not wrong, per se. The fact that she can feel so much compassion for the man who kidnapped her and probably gave her the fright of her life is, well, remarkable. But I doubt Sabre ever intended any harm to come to her. He probably regretted his actions as soon as he took her away.
Hazel, that reminds me, I wanted to ask you, why were you kidnapped? I was puzzling over why a maid's daughter would be... Hazel? Where are you going?
I like how apparently she's going somewhere, but we still see her just standing here. Oh, visual novels, I love them.
Bye, Sir Rivian. Good luck.
I mean, okay, I guess you're going somewhere, even though it doesn't seem like you're moving, but bye. Before I can manage another word, Hazel abruptly turns to dart over the door, tugging it open. Does she know that she's royalty?
Wait, I wasn't finished.
I'm not even
Come
sure
back.
if she knows. Does she? I don't remember. Was that even mentioned? My cry, however, is only met by the slamming of the door as Hazel races out into the hall. Well, I guess I unknowingly treaded into forbidden territory. I guess she does know if that's how she's acting. I guess she can at least keep one damn secret. She really took off at the speed of lightning. I suppose she must have figured she already told me too much. Exhaling a heavy sigh, I decide to spend the rest of the time before dinner tidying up my room. Gotta make sure this place is spotless for my romp with Sabre later tonight. I am having a guest after all, so I should probably make the bed and clean up the various mess of hair ornaments. Wait, hair ointments? Hair ointments? Okay. Hair ornaments I've got laid out all over the dresser. Keeping this weave looking good is hard work after all. The servants neglected to do any housekeeping here, it seems, or maybe it was Emily's duty and she was too distressed about Hazel to remember. I'm fairly distressed myself considering all these new revelations. What a whirlwind the past few days have been. Thank the gods it's over tomorrow. Although, doesn't that mean... Well, am I never going to see Sabre again? He's not from a noble family, so I couldn't really explain to my parents about him. The idea of just Rivian inviting Sabre over to his, I don't know, his villa? I don't know what he lives in, but... and then trying to get permission from his parents about it. Like, that just seems so weird. So I couldn't really explain to my parents about him visiting. How could I explain to a burly Scottishman, a sweaty, burly Scottishman that's at least 10 years older than me, I think, isn't he? How old is Sabre? I feel like he's in his 30s, right? Yeah, how am I going to explain a 30-year-old sweaty Scottishman with a fake accent visiting me in my room? I can never tell my parents any of this. What happens at the king's palace stays at the king's palace. For that matter, I don't even know if he'd want to visit me or me to visit him. His life must be hard and full of travel, so it'd probably be next to impossible. I guess maybe that's for the best. Oh, I guess this is a love that was meant to wilt. We live in different worlds entirely, and I doubt I would last very long in his. I really am the same as the peacocks he makes fun of. Maybe with less plumage, but ultimately the same bird. Best suited to strutting around and looking pretty, even though all those bright feathers are just an illusion. What a depressing analogy. I sink into gloomy thoughts for a while longer, brooding quietly until dinner.
Ah, what a glorious feast that was.
After a remarkably tasty meal, I start to stroll back to my bedchambers, and I'm already filled with regret. How could I have eaten so much? Bottoming is going to be impossible tonight. I might have an accident. The tastiness was somewhat soured by the company I was forced to have, however. Was Franz there? I am so not ready for his route next, I don't even want to do it. I just want to skip to Linnaeus. Somehow my horrible Aunt Valora, who's attending this party for whatever reason, managed to find me and attacked me with her presence. Well, she really just sat down next to me and blabbed away the whole time about my father, but it felt like I was being attacked. And it's quite disgusting hearing her go on about father. She is far too interested in beyond what a sister-in-law should be. Oh, gross. Is she after our dad? We did see that our dad is kind of hot from that painting in the last route. Still, the wine and cakes did compensate somewhat, so my mood isn't entirely ruined as I saunter through the corridors. It won't be long before the masquerade starts. People were already heading out to change and get their masks by the time I left the dining hall. That means Sabre should be showing up soon, hopefully. Should I have brought him a cake or something? Would that seem condescending? I don't want to act like he's an exotic pet I'm giving treats to. Although, now that I think about it, he'd probably enjoy that. Ah, well. I slip back into my room with a long, tired exhale. After a moment of pause, I wander over to the balcony entrance and step outside, enjoying the cool night breeze on my face. That's not the only thing I'll be enjoying on my face tonight. It's hard to believe that a few nights ago I got accosted by Franz out here. I guess that was when all the madness began. He was startlingly accurate in his predictions. I never did figure out how he knew all that, though. Probably because I totally rejected his advances. I guess if I want to learn anything about what he knows, I have to give in to him sexually. Kind of, really weird. For every answer I get, 10 more questions pop up. I suppose some mysteries will just have to remain unsolved. What a poetic thought. This place is really getting to me.
Coming!
When a knock comes at my door, I smooth out my clothes and hurry back into my room. I take a deep breath as I grab the doorknob, putting on my best look of confidence and preparing to give Sabre a thorough interrogation. Whoa, what? What happened? Did we just get fucking fucked up by Ignatius? Ow! My head! It feels like I just got hit with a sledgehammer. I bet they just, slapped us in the face. And Rivian's just that much of a pussy. Is this a hangover or something? Yeah. Oh, gods! We're in the murder chamber! When my eyes struggle open, however, I'm not greeted by the sight of my pillow. Instead, I'm in some kind of big chamber. A heavy, dusty scent weighs in the air, clogging my senses, and the sound of flickering candles echoes from nearby. Where on earth is this? It almost looks like some sort of chapel. Am I even on the castle grounds? As my heart starts to pound, I try to pull myself up, only to realize that my hands and feet are bound. Sabre, this is not what I meant! And beyond that, a foul-tasting cloth has been stuffed into my mouth.
Quiet.
Who was that? Was that Arden? It sounded like him almost. But we're gonna find out who this mystery guest is in the next episode, guys. So, I'll see you then, and thank you for watching. Bye.